Recently, I've been seeing some interesting perspectives on the Matrix films. The movies are such a classic that even after so many years, we still are trying to understand and explain the overall themes and story of the franchise. But I have noticed that many people offer interesting viewpoints or theories on the film's overall meaning, and they do offer explanations to alternative interpretations to the Matrix trilogy. They still seem to miss some essential philosophical themes that I think can help us better understand our own reality. I think it's become common to critique, analyze, or review art from pop culture without really trying to fully understand the work itself and what the work says about our lives. It seems to me that much of the internet spends its time crafting new ways to reel in viewers by creating clickbait, theories, and half-baked analysis that don't really say anything about our role or position as human beings. But I digress. Here are a few major philosophical themes of The Matrix that I feel are often forgotten and can help us better understand the films and ourselves.
I hate this place, this zoo, this prison, this reality, whatever you want to call it. I can't stand it any longer. It's the smell.
Two essential themes here are that of necessity and balance. There have been some who have suggested that Neo isn't actually the One, and that Agent Smith is the real One, primarily because of Smith's extreme desires to leave the very system that Neo volunteers to explore, and that Smith is the one programmed to be able to manipulate the Matrix well, giving him almost godlike qualities. And while there is some truth to Agent Smith being the One, a bigger philosophical picture is still being overlooked. In the second film, the architect confirms that even Neo isn't the only One. There has been at least 5 before him in different installations of the Matrix. So to say that Neo isn't the One has already been explained here by the creator of the Matrix itself.
Bigger than the others.
Others? How many? Others. What? Answer my fucking...
The Matrix is older than you know. I prefer counting from the emergence of one integral anomaly to the emergence of the next, in which case this is the 6th version.
5 ones before me. 3. There are only 2 possible explanations. There were 5 ones before me. Either no one told me, or no one knows.
Neo and Agent Smith are both the One, in their own respects. Like most hero-villain stories, they are both on separate sides of the same coin. One spends his time constantly plugging into the Matrix, the other spends his efforts trying to escape the Matrix. The concept of the One is merely a title used to stimulate the characters to ultimately bring about peace for those living outside of the Matrix. But Neo and Smith both want to be free. Neo takes the red pill to be free from his mundane life he was used to, yet he still is bounded by purpose to fight in the Matrix. And Agent Smith wants to leave the computer simulation altogether. But as Smith explains, the only way to obtain freedom is to not have a purpose, to not exist. Otherwise, the fighting for that freedom goes on.
Free.
Congratulations.
Thank you. But, as you well know, appearances can be deceiving, which brings me back to the reason why we're here. We're not here because we're free. We're here because we're not free. There's no escaping reason, no denying purpose, because as we both know, without purpose, we would not exist.
It is purpose that created us. Purpose that connects us. Purpose that pulls us, that guides us, that drives us. It is purpose that defines. Purpose that binds us.
We are here because of you, Mr. Anderson. We're here to take from you what you tried to take from us.
And that freedom being granted is illustrated in the last film perfectly. It seems like Agent Smith has finally won the fight, but this only brings about his own destruction. This is to establish balance. If Neo goes, then Agent Smith has to go out of necessary equilibrium. It is a classic story of yin and yang. Smith and Neo are connected to what ancient Greek philosopher Heraclitus called unity of opposites. That is that there is a relationship between concepts that are totally contrary to one another. And this opposite makes the concept what it is.
Then you're aware of it.
Of what?
Our connection.
Light is light as opposed to darkness, good is good as opposed to evil, and full is full when opposed to empty. They are both unique, but also identical. And like everything that happens in the films, it happens because it was necessary.
Is it over?
It was as necessary for both Agent Smith and Neo to cease to exist simultaneously, just as it was necessary for Neo to take the red pill instead of the blue. This destruction, this freedom, was what they both wanted all along.
No, it's not fair.
The Keymaker, of course. But this is not a reason.
One of the most amazing parts of the film is one with the Merovingian.
Keymaker himself is very...
When Neo, Morpheus, and Trinity go to inquire about the Keymaker, the Merovingian knows that Neo doesn't even himself know his grand purpose of having to be equalized through his self-destruction.
But do you? You think you do, but you do not. You are here because you were sent here. You were told to come here, and then you obeyed. It is, of course, the way of all things. You see, there is only one constant. One universal, it is the only real truth.
But Neo is driven almost blindly by his passions, by being a hero and being in love. As the architect explains, it is Neo's passion that causes him to do the amazing things that he does, but that passion will ultimately lead to his necessary destruction.
Hope. It is the quintessential human delusion, simultaneously the source of your greatest strength and your greatest weakness.
If I were you, I would hope that we don't meet again.